I am Juda McGannon, and I live in Scottsdale, Arizona. After I got married and after I had graduated from Hofstra, I just was looking for something to do athletically. And I saw this Danskin Women's Triathlon series that was being put on in Rye. I guess it was up in Rye, New York. And I signed up. So I'm not exactly sure why, but I just did. And I said, I'm going to do a triathlon. And then little by little, I started to get into the sport, and I decided that I wanted to go back to school and get a graduate degree. And I was so interested in athletics that I went back and got my master's degree in exercise science. I was doing some half marathons at the time, and then I decided to do the New York City Marathon, and then I decided to do my first Ironman. And at the time, the only other Ironman that was on in this part of the world was Ironman Canada. So I signed up for that, and I did that in 1998. That was my first Ironman. I took a little bit of a break from Ironman between the first one and the second one. The second one that I did was in 2003. I actually did the inaugural Coeur d'Alene in 2003. That was my second Ironman. And so it's really kind of cool that I'm going back there now to do this one. Once I did that one, and that same year, 2003, I got in the lottery for Kona. So I did Kona that same year as well, and as a lottery participant, not qualifying. But and then from then on, I think I was kind of like doing an Ironman every year or two. I remember at the end of Lake Placid, it was 2021, I think it was, I got the qualifying spot, and then I broke my arm really badly. In October, when we were supposed to have Kona, I decided, okay, well, I'm not going to do Kona, I'll do this 100K. So I started running a lot, and I was out on a run, and it was cracking sidewalk, and I was probably a little tired, and I caught my toe, and I went down on the sidewalk, and just hit my elbow and just exploded. So lots of pieces, had to have surgery, came back from that. So I was grateful that Kona was actually postponed again after February, because I probably wouldn't have been able to do it because of my injury. Getting in the first time, there's a lot of people that will say a lot of negative things about the lottery. I didn't, you feel like you're a fraud, you don't belong here, you got the lottery, you didn't qualify, all this stuff. And so I felt like I needed to prove something. I decided that it was going to be my last Ironman. It was kind of like, I'm going to drop the mic, and this is going to be the end of it, and this is a great career, and I finally made it here on my own merits, because it was becoming more difficult for me to get to the start lines of these races with the same kind of enthusiasm that I had early on. I was just sort of losing my desire, losing my why. A lot of people talk about, you have to really know what your why is. And so I got there, and I literally had an existential crisis in the 72 hours before the race. And I just went into a really, really, really dark place, and almost didn't start. To me, it was like a huge pose down of all these people that were there, that wanted all this attention. There was all this attention. Everybody says, oh, isn't this the greatest thing? And, and Kona's amazing. And I wasn't feeling any of that. I was not feeling any of that. I was feeling sad. I was feeling like I didn't belong there. I was feeling so much negative energy, no self-esteem, nothing. And I reached out to some friends, and I got what I needed, from them, and I sort of got myself together, and I checked my bike in, and I raced. I got to the finish line, and I knew that I was relieved. I was just relieved that it was over, and I was like, and then I saw Eddie walking down the street a couple days later, and he said, hey, you should join us. We're going to do this thing. And I had made this huge declaration that I was not going to do another Ironman. and I had told like everybody that I was never going to do this again. This was it. My career was over. Number 20, got to Kona again. Great. Another friend who I called during my little crisis said to me, you know, maybe you should do this thing because, you know, this sounds like more of the reason why you did it for all those years. This sounds like what really was the thing that got you to 20 start lines. You know, was the joy, was the friendship, was the, you know, the just purely loving the sport and not that you wanted to get to Kona. And so I was like, you're right. Like, I think I need to do another one and I need to drop the mic on this one and not that one because that really wasn't a good race for me. And so I don't have any thoughts about the finish line at Coeur d'Alene. All I know is that I'm enjoying the process. I'm loving making these videos. I am excited for everyone else that's doing it, learning their story, and feeling the connection that I was not feeling when I was in Hawaii. I was feeling disconnected from everybody. I was feeling alone. And I bet you there's a lot more people that feel that way. They just don't talk about it. Because what people want to hear is, oh yeah, it's amazing. It's the greatest race ever. It was my lifelong dream. I don't know if it was my lifelong dream. You know, my lifelong dream was to have a long life of fun and sport. You know, I thoroughly enjoy the process, and I am excited and honored to be part of this group of people. It's an experience that I haven't yet had to this extent. You know, I've been part of some clubs and things like that, and I've gone to Ironman races with small groups of friends, but nothing of this, like this size group or this type of energy or this experience. And I'm loving it. I am really loving it. And thank you. Thank you. Thanks to everybody for the opportunity.